Hello. I'm gonna talk about with AI stuff again and see how it goes. Let me share my screen. All right. So which one we should go? This one. So see. I think I'm sharing. Oh, okay. Um, Now I write this article like almost like a 1.5 2 years ago. And it's about like the lecture that I presented some of the universities for industrial design students. Now, some element of the article and the external factor change as based on the development in AI industry, but I think the general tone is the same. So, and this lecture is like presented for first year students for the summer and the fall semester. And the question that we approach is okay, how does our industry race against or we partner rapidly evolving AI tools? How universities can force the student to master these tools and use the AI tools or AI workflows to augment their creativity rather than holding them back. I still remember this story. It's like I think first 2 years of my BA education, we haven't used any computer. It was all hand drawing and it was technical drawing, which you can question how much it benefit my own development. If it was sketching, it might have been another story, but it was just classic architectural technical drawing. And I studied industrial design. It was different time and different context and different country. It's about like how to navigate our education journey at university afterwards to be relevant upcoming decades. I think this is the key. Unfortunately, based on the nature of our profession, you need to constantly develop and learn. Now, the tools and the skills are two different things, I think, for me. Like as you gain work experience, you learn how to work and collaborate with different people, different communities, different stakeholders. You understand the political ecosystem inside of the big corporation. If you are working in the big corporation, which most of my work experience based on that, or design studios and freelancing has different dynamic. Um, I never had opportunity to work in design agency, but I have done freelancing for a long time. Then I moved into the corporation world. But constant development is nature of our job. I think AI tool will make this with easier. Like you can peak and manage your time efficiently. Like you can have like a reading time where you read and learn from books, academic papers, and so on. Um, Picking your words and not being too hungry is a key thing. I fall into this trap in my career and I encourage students to avoid it. But I will touch on this topic in other videos. So, what are the positive and negative impacts of AI involvement in industrial design, physical design, and UX design? In this workshop and lecture series, I only mostly focus on physical products, so I haven't focused on digital products. It's about like how to tackle ethical and sustainability related concern AI brings into our industry. This is about like how the models train, like what are the data sources that used for it. So there can be like a energy consumption of AI models. Now there has been really promising development in that area. So actually, I hope in a couple of years you can use like open source models in your local setup that you can get actually like quality results that you can work around. Also like how the craft aspect of design is changing, how today's students can adapt themselves for the future. Because one of the value I would like to bring to the students or mentees that I talk with is like, yeah, I want them to be relevant when they finish their degree. I don't want them to feel that they wasted their time and energy in university. That's really important to me. And later on, if they decide to do masters and kind of like a bit more specialty, I think I always encourage academical educations, as long as is how to say, I don't want to get too much into like university education costs and so on. It's different for different countries around the world. That's for another day also. But going back to, I think visual and aesthetics are evolving rapidly. Uh, On the other hand, I still think like AI tools suffer functionality, ergonomics, and UX. And I think it's gotten better with like all three and all four model, but I think still, if you want to do something out of a box, you should, the human people should be in control of this. I think you can use AI tool as a kind of like a new colleague or teammates to ideate, to learn from, but you still need to like put the main input in. On the other hand, aesthetics of interaction are still challenging for AI. For aesthetics of interaction, I mean, it's combination of like a physical form, temporal form. Temporal form means like a you can think it's like a in basic terms the competition hardware that enables different kind of like a interaction pattern, modality, and coupling. So input output, it can be sensors, it can be other hardwares, and interaction gestalt also is the last pillar for aesthetics of the interaction. um, so you can specifically create your own data sources. I try to do that, like train open source model, and you will get like a better results in terms of like getting hyper aesthetics of interaction. But it still is a big investment. So if you are working in design city or like a big in-house company, you may try to do that, but it's still uh, I am not sure like what will be like a cost value metrics on this. Moving forward, I think hands-on practice aspect of design is evolving. I really believe doing like working on your communication will be key. Even like still crazy things like you can fake, you can create your own deep fake on Zoom, talking perfect English, looking differently, but it's still I believe like communication is a key aspect of design, especially as you move forward in your career. You need to focus on developing your communication and presentation skills, how to create a discourse around your ideas, your concept, how to involve others to develop the concepts for the different parameters of the concepts. It can be about life cycle analysis. It can be about you bring like a sustainability expert. You talk with like a material engineer. You bring like electrical engineer, mechanical engineer into team. How you communicate with them. I think this is like a maybe more important rather than the final presentation and the final pitch. Um, I think you need to be like a multidisciplinary unfortunate generalist. I suggest that you don't try to be all, but combining design, industry design with researcher, like having bit studies around anthropology, gender studies, or policy will be quite beneficial, or like a strategy, like a futurist, and filmmaking, maybe writing. You can combine different things together based on your interests, I would say. Um, and the visualization and render, that will be like all story. I think in a couple of years there are already like a strong signals that like you don't have to know a lot about like lighting, composition, and so on as an industry designer, unless you want to be like a top performer in this um, division of design practice, and you trust that you can be like a 5% performer and visualization in like a certain country, region, or industry, you still be able to find job. But I would like you be open-minded and take technological development into consideration. Moving forward, as I touched upon earlier, you can learn different things. Speculative design has been around for more than a decade, but it's certainly becoming more persistent, more accepted by the creative industry. So I think there will always space if you develop yourself around speculative design, design fiction, discursive design. There's so many terminology and there's a really subtle differences between each other. But I suggest, unless you are thinking heavily going into PhD route and working in academia, you don't care too much about the subtle differences. I think it's just confusing for people. Uh, Transition design is interesting. Is almost like a combining system thinking and system design into participatory design. I think there's a lots of academic heroes who are working on this discipline, developing it further. Another upcoming a digiphysical. I think this has been coming 5 years. I wish I catch this trend earlier and learn a couple of the software that my mentor suggested, but I didn't have the time with the kids. But I would say this will be huge. Mixed reality, reality. You don't have to be advanced in this level, especially in these areas, especially if you are focused on the industrial design. But you should be able to do a prototypes or mock-ups. I think that should the level you should at least aim for. And you can explore this in your bachelor education and or doing a side projects later on, or in your master education if you want to focus on this. And going beyond screen will be really significant as we talk about a digital-physical interaction. I think it's coming back. And in terms of a designing, I think a ability to do physical prototypes will be really, really important. Now we can talk that how generative AI will impact CAD tools. Do you need to know advanced CADing? But to be honest, if you invest a little bit time, I think you can learn Fusion quite easily, and that will give you ability to do a low fee, mid-level prototypes. Then you can use AI tools much further. But I think working with physical material, with digital fabrication, and also old crafts, I think will be important. So you should be aware about computational design, digital fabrication. I know not all universities have facilities to enable this. There are some online resources you can go into. I will cover this in another videos, or if you make a comment in this section, I can mention a couple of trustworthy resources that I use myself. And also, always think about the user experience. Always think about the approach to product as a service, a physical oriented service, from the manufacturing, from the selling point of view, from the how person is gonna use it, how it's gonna be bought, how it's gonna be used, how it's gonna be recycled, upcycle, take apart. Maybe it will be upgraded with DI kits and so on. So you need to all things about a different life cycle, different touch point of the product's life cycle. I think that's really important. Will give you edge. Things about the safety, practical usage, things about the ergonomic, inclusive design, accessibility. Is it easy to clean? Is it doable? How I always use this metaphor as I have small kids, how parents will use it while holding a baby in one hand, and that discussion will enable you to dive into inclusivity and accessibility. And from that point forward, you can apply different academic resources to dive deeper, talk with the people with different abilities and explore this topic more. But these are all important. And yeah, thanks for listening. I will stop sharing now. And yeah, I hope it was fun.